Good morning. My name is Mike Arredondo. I'm the principal at Gonzales High School, and I want to welcome you to our first podcast of the year. Actually, it's our third attempt to have our first podcast of the year. We've had scheduling issues throughout the month of September, and we're here in October finally with our first podcast. To my left are my two cohorts in this podcast. First is Nexia Davila. She's the ASB president and just about president of everything else on campus. And to her left is our assistant principal, Dr. Michael Mansfield. And today we're going to talk about Gonzales High School, what's going on here, what it's like to be a student here, and what it's like to be involved in all the activities that Alexia has been involved in throughout her 4 years in high school. So with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Mansfield.
Thank you. So for our first podcast, we wanted to talk about this idea of agency. And agency is one of the foundations for communities and the relationships and the lives that we really want. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what that word agency means in this context. And so agency is the idea that the decisions we make and the things that we want, that we actually have power to do that we can actually control our lives and we can control our decisions, and that we believe we are powerful as individuals and as a community. And as a history teacher, I can think of lots of examples of people that believed that they had agency, believed that they had power, and so they did amazing things because they believed that they had that power. So I can think of people like Cesar Chavez or Martin Luther King or Malala Yousafzai or Nelson Mandela. Very famous examples of people who believed they had power, and even though they didn't like the things around them or didn't like the way things were going around them, they thought they could make a difference, and they did make a difference. And so we wanted to talk to Anixia today because she's somebody that I definitely believe sees that she has agency, sees that she has power, and wants to activate that agency and power in other people as well. And so Anixia, I was hoping you could tell our audience a little bit about several of the different activities and positions that you hold on campus where you practice that agency and that power.
So I am quite involved in our campus, but also outside of campus. So some of my on-campus positions are I'm ASB president. I'm also rally commissioner. I'm involved in our FFA program as the FFA president. And then on our regional level, I'm vice president representing Monterey Bay, so all of our area of Monterey. And outside of school, I am a part of the GYC, which is the Gonzales Youth Council. And that is a council that works with the city, but we also work with the schools, and it's a great program. And then I'm also the student board member, so I represent not just Gonzales High, but all of the other two schools. And I'm also on the school site council.
Now, one thing I know in getting to know you over the last several months is that this isn't really about your ego. So, can you tell me why you've gotten involved in all of these things? Why are you doing all these things? Because it's a lot of time and it's a lot of commitment.
Helping others is something that I really enjoy, but I also want to help make change in our small community. And I think empowering our youth is the best way to do that. So getting involved in these things, I really like to motivate others and make sure that everyone knows that they can have a chance to make a difference in our community, and not just in our community, but wherever they go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you tell me about any of your favorite examples of things that you've specifically worked on or worked with others on, whether it be through leadership or FFA or the youth council, where you really see that your voice has had, and the voice of the people you've been working with has had an impact, and you can actually see kind of tangible, specific changes that have been made because of things that you've worked on with others?
Of course. So with the Gonzales Youth Council, each year when you're into the term, you get to decide what kind of action project you would like. So, for example, last year, my action project for the community, I helped with the school, and we called it the School Beautification Project. And with this, we met with the superintendent and the principal, and we really sat down and we presented them a presentation on changes that we would like to see happen at our school to make it a better, more welcoming place. And so we took pictures of areas that we think could use a little renovating. For example, we have some new plants around the campus because we wanted it to be more like welcoming, more lively. So we thought plants would be a great way of doing that. We asked for renovations, and we discussed renovations of the tennis courts. And with continuing working with the superintendent, we were able to get those tennis courts fixed. And we are still working to improve other parts of the school as well.
That's awesome.
You're a phenomenal young lady. You do so many different things, and you do them all really, really well. Tell me about your FFA selection to the National Convention. You were one of only 25 people in the state of California selected. Tell me how that process went.
It's actually so cool. It's a really good opportunity. So there's an application process, and they ask you like questions on why you want to be a representative for California, and what problems that you think we should fix in our organization, and you answer those questions, and they evaluate you based on that. So based on my application, they chose me, and so in October 31st, I'll be heading down to Indianapolis for a week.
It's exciting.
Representing, yeah.
Yes, representing our school and our state. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So what recommendations would you make to your fellow students, whether they're in 9th grade and just getting started in high school, or whether they're older and maybe they think, oh, I've missed my opportunity already to get involved in some things? Like, what would you recommend are some practical steps or practical kind of moves they could make if they want to practice their agency and getting involved and having their voice heard?
There's one thing I've learned is that there is never an opportunity where you can't make change. You can make it at any point in your life. So even if you're a senior now and you still like, well, how can I get involved? You can join Interact, which is a club we have on campus that's really focused on community service. There's, for freshmen especially, or incoming freshmen, there's going to be lots of opportunities for you to join clubs, organizations. For example, next year, if you can take our leadership class, it's an elective that you can choose. So if you join leadership, you'll be involved in like the school spirit in our school. But there's also the GYC, which is the Gonzalez Youth Council, and that actually starts in 8th grade. So 8th graders to seniors can apply, and it's a great organization. We do a lot of change around our community, and it's just a great way to get involved. But also you can always, like, students can also come to me and ask them, like, they can come and ask me, like, what can I do to help? Mm-hmm. And we can do, we can help them see where they want to go in their future. Like, if they want to join leadership next year, well, I'm your girl. I know how to, you can join that. If you want to be an officer next year, you can apply in the spring, or you can even, each class has an officer, so you can always go and talk to your class representatives as well, so that if you see a problem or if you want a certain activity or fundraiser that you'd like to help with, you can go talk to your class officers and they'll help you like achieve that, or they'll take in your feedback and bring it to our ASB meetings. There are lots of ways where students can get involved, whether it's on campus or off campus.
Awesome.
This has been an exciting year. It's only the 3rd month now that we're into, but I think Student Council, with your leadership, has done a phenomenal job of changing the culture at this school. Tell me a little bit about the things that you guys have done that have made this a campus that is more inviting and involved.
So for ASB, we have started a lot of new things to get more students involved. For example, our Spirit Days are more fun, and we've seen a lot of participation, which is amazing. We love when students participate because it's just, it's like a week where students can just have fun at school, like make a costume, or just participating will allow them to like enjoy school a little bit more. Because our goal for like Spirit Days is to bring that fun liveliness to our campus, so that students know like school, you can come and also have fun. It's not just study work. So I think another thing is we always do like lunchtime activities on Fridays, and we'll have like gift cards for students, or the activities will be super fun. Like, I think my favorite one so far has been either the scavenger hunt, where we have students like from each grade, someone will have to go run and find something in the crowd, and it engages everyone, and I think that's a really good thing that we have at our campus. So ASB is just really trying to bring some fun, lively action to our school.
Yeah, you can feel it on campus. It's a very welcoming and involved place for students to participate. Thank you for all of your efforts.
Definitely. So yeah, we're going to be having more podcasts this year. We'll be trying to have one every month, and we'll be having different topics. Mr. Arredondo and I are really interested to hear from students and to hear from staff and community members about topics that you might be interested in. And the reason we chose agency as the first one is it's the soil to plant our plants in, right? Of all the work we're going to do this year, is we can do anything that we put our minds to. That's the spirit of agency. And we wanted to bring on a guest that really embodies that and lives that every day. And so we welcome recommendations and input from students, staff, community members, parents, anybody got a topic that you're interested in. We'd like to bring it to you in the monthly podcast. Thank you.
Your feedback is important to us, and we really want to hear from you. So please let us know what you think. And thank you for watching.